Welcome back to Face Off. We're looking at the DSS raid on the houses of some of justices of Nigeria. How valid was this action is what we're looking at tonight. I have two great guests in the studio. But before we get on the way with the discussion, let's listen to this report. There was actually, of those operations, there was actually a foiled one, and that was in Rivers State. Let's see how it all played out sometime in the week, over the weekend, I should say.
Tension is in the air at number 35 Forces Avenue in the old government reservation area in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Security officials, some members of the Rivers State Executive Council, House of Assembly and party officials led by the Rivers State Governor are gathered here. Governor Nyesom Wike says this is the aftermath of a failed attempt to arrest a High Court judge at what he describes as an ungodly hour.
So exactly 10 minutes after 1, we got here and we saw some security agencies and we said, what is going on? And they said that they were detailed to arrest a judge. And I said, it is never heard that by 1 a.m. after 1, you are here to arrest a judge. When you go as well, invite the judge. If you cannot read the judge, whoever the judge is, invite the judge through the chief judge. I said, okay, why not in the morning you invite the judge to come, whoever the judge is? And they insisted that by the order they have, that they are directed to pick the judge and bring the judge over.
The Commissioner of Police in the state appears not to be in the mood to talk. When he finally opens up, he says he's here as a peacemaker.
Came to resolve whatever is going on. I've told you privileged information. Go and interview the appropriate person and not me. I'm here as a peacemaker, please.
Although the identity of the judge in question is unknown for now, the exact intention of the security operatives regarding their action is also not clear.
This is a very, very unique situation which we've never witnessed before, whereby armed masked men invade residences of serving justices of the courts of the land, including the highest court of the land. We consider this unconstitutional. We consider it a very blatant attempt to intimidate the judiciary, undermine the independence of the judiciary, and undermine the independence of the legal profession.
I'm particularly worried over the involvement of Justice Walter Onoge in the invasion, and I hope this is not a plot to prevent his appointment as the next CJN just because he's from the South-South region. Nigerians should be reminded that I raised similar alarm when this same administration invaded the Akwa Ibom State Government House and later the arrest and invasion of Ekiti State House of Assembly.
It's getting interesting by the day and by the minute. A lot of revelations coming out as to whether the DSS was right within the ambit of the law or whether this is the beginning of what our justice system should look like and the polity. Well, let me allow the guests make contributions as far as this is concerned. I was talking to Iniji the last time. Why do you think this is the way to go?
Thank you. I want to say with all due sense of responsibility that those that are of the view that the raid on the homes of the justices constitutes an abuse of process have actually not adverted their minds to certain provisions of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, particularly sections 43, 44, sections 147, 148, 149, 1 and 2, as well as sections 9, sections 10, Section 11.
So we have a lot of sections.
Yeah,
telling us how to do this.
Very well.
What does it really say?
And those sections, I can agglutinate the position taken stated in those sections to just amount to the fact that a warrant of arrest can be executed by anybody, including the security agencies, and that it can be done at any time, even if it is 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or 3 a.m. in the morning. It can be done in any manner. They can, even in the process of executing the search warrant, they could break walls of adjoining premises to gain access to their target. So there is no
That's
abuse.
what the Constitution says.
That is what the Administration of Criminal Justice Act says, 2015. So the people that are of the view that there has been an abuse of process and these judges ought to have been invited are actually wrong. That position is misconceived. These are the same judges that were appointed by, that were screened by the state security services. And we now have a situation where they are saying that the state security services have no right to investigate them. This is not the first time.
They seem to be contradicting the position of the NBA president.
Oh, well, is he saying that? I would have to hear that from him to say that his position is different from that of the Nigerian Bar Association. However, as much as he has elucidated several sections of the law with respect to how to conduct an arrest, okay, and at what time, the first thing you ask yourself is this: can you put something on nothing and expect it to stand? That's the question, all right? Look at the law establishing DSS. Does it state that you must break into the house of a judge to effect arrest, number one? Number two, what are you arresting these judges for? The Attorney General went to town. The Attorney General of the Federation, even though he's my learned senior, he needs to be reminded that you don't come out to make statements that appear irresponsible or that appear unresearched. Okay, why would the DSS, even if you had screened these judges when they were going to become judges, you were screening them with respect to their personal life to see the same way they declare their assets with Independent Corrupt Practices Commission and the Code of Conduct Bureau before they became judges. Now, what does the Code of Conduct Bureau and the ICPC law, what does it say about judicial officers? Judicial officers are public servants. And in that wise, there is a procedure for investigating a judicial officer with respect to any misconduct at all. Now, if they are going to be charged for armed robbery or anything, then you can say to me that Directorate of State Security Service will come into play. What are the roles and responsibilities, statutory responsibilities of the DSS? Does it include breaking into the house of judges, for example?
He said so, he said yes.
It cannot be, because judicial officers have the code of conduct that regulates them. It's a law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's an act of the National Assembly. You cannot deal with a judicial officer as if you want to bring that arm of governance into disrepute. And that's what everybody has been talking about. The senior legal giants, that's what they've been talking about. Judiciary is sacrosanct. We are not saying they are untouchable, but they can be touched in a certain manner. That's what we are talking about. The same way state governors enjoy immunity with respect to some matters, that's the same way the law provides for how judges should dispense their duties. For crying out loud, there's a Public Officers Protection Act. And that even says that any misconduct that anything arising from the discharge, lawful discharge of any duty by any public servant should go through a process. There is even a time frame within which you go after such public servants. So to now come and raid and say you are conducting a raid, now I know the address of the judge sitting in Rivers State. So you don't need what security does he have anymore? Before now, you don't know the address of any judge. You don't even know where they live. They drive in unmarked cars. But now we know that if you go to Forces Avenue in Rivers State, you'll find a judge. A judge lives in Forces Avenue in Rivers State. In the middle of the night, you have broken the door. So what happens to their family members? I think it's intimidation. That's what it is. I was here.